Indy Mogul.
Major comeback or the final nail in Chris Rock's movie career coffin? You're watching Beyond the Trailer's review of Death at a Funeral.
Let's just burn him and get it over with.
Yes, Chris Rock is a major comedy force on stage. But with the exception of his voiceover work, Rock has failed to entertain movie audiences. He's making one last run for it this summer with starring vehicle Death at a Funeral, plus ensemble comedy, and therefore safer bet, grown-ups. In fact, what makes Death at a Funeral an even bigger gamble is that it's a remake of a British film from 2007. Just 3 years ago, American audiences rejected that movie, which grossed a mere $8 million domestically. But now Neil Labute, who previously worked with Rock on Nurse Betty, is taking the reins from Frank Oz to direct this African-American version. The only returning cast member from the original film is Peter Dinklage because, you know, it's not like he's got a lot of competition. This new Death at a Funeral certainly sports a solid cast, with Rock, Martin Lawrence, Tracy Morgan, Danny Glover, and Zoe Saldana in the flesh. Is it time for Tyler Perry to move over, or will we be sending our condolences to Rock's agent by the end of the weekend? So today we're doing a BTT crew review of Death at a Funeral. After the break, find out what we thought of the movie.
Hey Indy Mogul, this is James Lee Films, and you're watching a 10-second trailer to my new short, Desolate.
I was really excited to see Death at a Funeral because I thought the trailer was very funny. But I'm sad to report it's one of those instances where all the funny parts of the movie are in the trailer.
This movie should be called Death at a Movie because it really wasn't anything that I would call worthy cinema.
The jokes went stale really quickly. Like they had like 3 jokes that they stuck to the very end.
Way too much poop in this movie. I don't know when it became okay to show actual physical poop on screen, but it is a trend I'm not behind.
It doesn't need to be on people's faces. It doesn't need to be in the movie. I felt like I was in smell-o-vision because it would just poop all over the place. I didn't need to see that.
I mean, I laughed during the movie, and I mean, some points really had me like covering my face and laugh, and so that's always a good thing, but the jokes went stale.
I think they used the high joke way too many times. Like, they just milked that to death.
If I found a pill bottle, I would never take someone else's pills. I think that's like, I felt that after the first time someone accidentally took the drugs, I felt that that was unrealistic and it wasn't as funny as it being the first mistake, you know?
I am really surprised this is a Neil Labute film. I mean, I don't really think he's ever been known for like dramatic camera angles and stuff like that, but I mean, he wasn't even trying here. This was like straight new director material, like someone's first time out of the gate, and they're just trying to make sure they get the movie made on time and on budget. But, I mean, I think Neil Labute could have brought a little something more to the table. Anything, really.
The screenplay I really like because I want to be a screenwriter, so I took note of that. I think it's really difficult to have so many storylines and so many characters.
They don't make a lot of movies about funerals because they're depressing. And as soon as they showed a coffin, like in the first live-action shot in this movie, I was kind of bummed.
I'm a really big Chris Rock fan. I love watching all his stand-up DVDs. He's a funny guy. He was a producer on this film, and I find that all his films, for that matter, all the ones that he's had a hand in, I want to like them. I go into them very excited, and then I get left behind. It just really wasn't a great movie.
I felt like the acting was good, but I didn't feel like they were a family.
I thought James Marsden was particularly good. And, you know, when he started out, they kept putting him in that leading man role, like Cyclops, which was a disaster. But, you know, when he does movies like this, and also when he was in Hairspray, you know, James Marsden is a very good character actor, a very good comedian. And so this was, he did a really nice job with playing high. He was very creative with it.
After watching it, I'm kind of curious about how the original was. So I'm probably going to Netflix that or rent that.
I really do not think it's worth seeing in theaters at all. Even if you want to go to the movies, even if you're like, I feel like going to see a movie, you can do better than this.
I'd rent it.
Online, streaming, not to wait for the mail. I wouldn't wait in the mail for this one.
I would give this movie a 6.
5.
4.5.
So Chris Rock, I hope that Grown Ups is better because we give this movie a 5. And don't forget that Beyond the Trailer is out here every week covering every major new release. So be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. I'm Grace Randolph and you've just gone Beyond the Trailer.